What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, and we're back with our second episode of Magic for the Working Class. And today I'm bringing Zurgo Stormrender to you for $82.59. Not too bad. So, without further ado, if you like my working class content and my other deck techs and stuff, feel free to subscribe. You don't have to, only if you feel I've earned it. But let's get straight into it, shall we? So that way we don't keep you all day. We got ourselves Zurgo, holy cow, Stormrender. He's a 3/3 for Mardu, and he has Mobilize 1. Whenever this creature attacks, create a tapped and attacking 1/1 red warrior creature token, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step, and then whenever a creature token you control leaves the battlefield, draw a card if it was attacking. Otherwise, each opponent loses 1 life, which is pretty neat. So obviously we're going to mobilize, we're going to make a bunch of tokens, and we're going to let those tokens die to ping our opponents out. So how are we going to do this? We've got Angel of Invention, which is a card I actually really like. I don't see it ever really get played, but it is a 2/1 for 5. Flying, Vigilance, and Fabricate 2, which means when this creature enters, you can either put 2/1/1 counters on it, or create 2 1/1 colorless servo tokens. For this deck, you're probably going to want to do the servo tokens, and then other creatures you control get +1/+1. We have Arnon, Deathbloom Botanist, a new card from Secrets of Strixhaven with Death Touch, and whenever a creature you control power or toughness 1 or less dies, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So, although this one isn't symmetrical, it's still going to help you out by taking out those pesky opponent's life totals and giving you some life back. We have Avenger of the Fallen. He's a 2/4 for 3 with Death Touch and Mobilize X, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. So this does benefit if somebody blows up all of our creatures. We have Bone-Cairn Butcher. He mobilizes 2. He's a 4/4, and attacking tokens you control have Death Touch. This incentivizes people to not block. However, if they do block, they lose their creatures, and you still ping them with their stuff. Or draw cards, right? Drawing cards. We have Kaisar, Legion's Emperor, and yes, it is Kaisar, both in the original Latin and in the game. Then we notice that the NCR will call him Caesar, and he himself will call him Kaisar. He's a 4/4 for 4, and whenever you attack, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, choose one. You can create 2 1/1 red and white soldier creature tokens with haste that are tapped and attacking. You draw a card and lose 1 life. Or Kaisar Legion's Emperor deals damage equal to the number of creature tokens you control to target opponent. Pretty cool there. Chittering Witch, rats. When this creature enters, create a number of black rat creature tokens equal to the number of opponents you have, so you get 3. And then you can sacrifice a creature to give target creature -2/-2 until end of turn for 2 mana. This is really good because then you can sacrifice multiple tokens, both to kill their stuff and to ping them with their things. We have Delcoven Pack Beasts. It's a Vigilance 0/4 for 3 and Mobilize. So although it is a 0/4, it can get a bonus from Angel of Invention, and it will spawn 3 little dudes who are going to be attacking. We have Elas Ilkor, Sadistic Pilgrim. He's a 2/2 for 2. Death Touch. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life. And whenever another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. See the little pingy theme here. We have a Myria Angel, Flying, and Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, you may create a 1/1 white bird creature token with Flying. We do have some of the cheap fetches in here, like Terramorphic Expanse, so you can get some double triggers off of that. We have Gold Knight Commander. Whenever another creature you control enters, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. We have Grenzo, Havoc Razor. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you choose one, go target creature that player controls, or exile the top card of that player's library, and until end of turn, you can cast that card and spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast it. Then we have Hardened Tactician, who has sacrifice a token, draw a card. It's got like a half of a Skull Clamp ability on there. It would see that this veteran, this tactician, has seen a lot of combat, as judging by that they are in fact missing an arm. I think this art is also really cool too. The bottom up, like looking from the dead soldiers up at it. Ishin, 2 heavens is 1. If a creature attacking causes a triggered ability, in other words, your mobilize abilities, to trigger, it triggers an additional time. We have Jadar. He puts a 2/2. This is just Ophiomancer, but he puts a 2/2 black zombie creature with Decayed onto the battlefield. We have Legion Warboss. He has Mentor, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a goblin that has to attack. Loyal Apprentice, Haste, and Lieutenant. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control your commander, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying, and that token gains haste until end of turn. Mirkwood Bat, so whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses a life. Morbid Opportunist, whenever one or more creatures die, draw a card, triggers only once. Opiomancer puts the Sneck into play. The Sad Robot fetches a land when it enters and draws you a card when it dies. We have Teysa Karlov. If a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time, and creature tokens you control have Vigilance and Lifelink. This would cause the triggered ability here to trigger an additional time. We have Thalise. At the beginning of each end step, create X/1/1 white spirit creature tokens, where X is the number of tokens you created this turn. It's really good with Mobilize. Twilight Drover. Whenever a creature token leaves the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on this creature, and then remove a 1/1 counter from this creature to create 2 spirits. We have Venerated Stormsinger. He's got Mobilize 1, and then whenever this creature or another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1, you gain 1. And then we have the other Zurgo, which is Mobilize 2. During your end step, warrior tokens you control have this token can't be sacrificed, which seems non-intuitive with this, but we do have ways to sacrifice our tokens anyway. We also have ways to get around sacrificing tokens as well in this deck. We have Blasphemous Act to pop everything that's ever existed. We have Eliminate the Competition, sack X creatures, destroy X creatures. Lingering Souls, create 2 spirits. I like this art. It's weird. Somebody who knows Final Fantasy, tell me what these things are. We have Release the I wanted to say the Mr. Burns Release the Hounds. It's Release the Dogs. Create 4 1/1 white dogs. Ruinous Ultimatum. Destroy all non-land permanents your opponents control. Salt Road Skirmish. Destroy target creature. Create 2 red warriors. They gain haste. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the end step. Shadow Summoning. Create 2 tapped white spirits. Social Snub. When you cast a spell while you control a creature, you may copy the spell. United Front, a card I have been sticking in almost every deck lately. You create X/1/1 white allies, and then you put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Buffs all of your tokens really well. We have White Sun's Twilight, gain X life, create X/1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. And if X is 5 or more, you destroy all other creatures. Instance, we've got Deadly Dispute, sack a creature, draw 2 cards, create a treasure. You're going to see that. We also have Village Rites, which does the same thing, minus the treasure. Corrupted Conviction, similar thing, right? Desperate Measures, target creature gets +1/-1 till end of turn. When it dies, you draw 2 cards. So if somebody's gonna like pop your thing, make it so you draw 2 cards off it. Coordinated Maneuver makes it so it deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature or planeswalker, or you can pop an enchantment. Fateful Absence. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Its controller investigates. Secure the Waste. You make a whole bunch of Sand Warrior creature tokens. Crackling Doom. It deals 2 damage to each opponent. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power. And then Stroke of Midnight, which pops a creature and then, creates a 1/1 white human. We could not afford Skull Clamp in. Well, you could probably throw Skull Clamp in here, to be honest, because we're still under $100. But this was creeping into our upper limits. We did put Arcane Signet, Borrow Signet, Raknos Signet, Mardu Monument, which helps you make some dudes. Orsov Signet. We have Storm Beacon Blade. Equipped creature gets +3/0. Whenever equipped creature attacks, draw a card. If you control 3 or more attacking creatures. And Wayfarer's Bauble. Enchantments, we got Assemble the Legion. So every turn you put a muster counter on, and then you make a Legionnaire for each of those muster counters. They're actually just soldiers, but I'm going to call them Legionnaires since they're in a Legion. Baron Step Siege. You can choose Abzan, which is at the beginning of your end step. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control, or Mardu at the beginning of your end step. If a creature died under your control this turn, each opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice. Both are good. Bastion of Remembrance. Of course, it puts a dude into play, and then whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent chooses or loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. Endless Foot Assault, Tarantino's favorite card. It's a 3-drop enchantment, and it has squad, so you pay the squad any number of times to make extra copies of this, and then whenever you attack for each opponent, you make a 1/1 Black Ninja creature token that's tapped and attacking that player. Tangible Virtue makes our tokens bigger. Legion Loyalty gives our creatures Myriad. It costs 8. A boy can dream that this will make it in there. Mardu Ascendancy, whenever a non-token creature you control attacks, put a 1/1 red goblin onto the battlefield tapped and attacking, and you can sacrifice it to give your creatures +0/+3 until end of turn. We have Thunder of Unity. You draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. Whenever a creature you control enters this turn, each opponent loses a life, you gain a life. Tocassius Welcome. Whenever one or more creatures you control with mana value 3 or less enter, draw a card, triggers only once, and within range. When this enchantment enters, create 2 red warriors, and then whenever you attack, each opponent loses life equal to the number of creatures attacking them. It's pretty good. Lands, we do have Castle Ardenvale. 1 second, friends. Sorry about that, friends. My daughter needed me to unwrap the popsicle she had. We have Castle Ardenvale, and then some basic lands. Like I said, we have Evolving Wilds, some of the check lands, and we also have Delcoven Encampment, which is whenever you attack, you can then tap it to create 2 red warriors. Now, for the gameplay. So here is our... We'll zoom out one so I have buttons. We are starting with 4 lands. Let's go ahead and drop our first turn. Drop a command tower. Next turn, we'll draw. And there's, this isn't a fast deck, but we are going to drop this and create 2 spirits. Spirit. We have 2 spirits in play. And we have 6 cards in hand. What I'm going to do is, then we'll say that at the end of somebody's turn... Oh, wait, we already did that. So then we go to our next turn. I'm going to drop a Plains, and then we're going to drop Zurgo. Next turn, we go out. We've got this, so we can do this. Drop Bastion, put that in play. Sacrifice something. Right here, you can sacrifice one of the attacking creatures to draw an extra card off of Zurgo, and then draw the 2. That's some of the stuff you can do. I wanted to keep this one short, so... Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like I said, under $100. I like these working class ones. I've got a whole bunch lined up for the following Mondays. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. As always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and now I'm going to go outside before it rains and play with my daughter for a little bit. So, have a great day.